Hello everyone, and welcome to Hyperanalyzing LCS, the series where I discuss the biggest moments from the LCS and give attention to the tiniest details that can decide the outcome of a game. This week we will look at some plays from the 2022 LCS Spring Split Finals weekend. In the lower bracket finals against Team Liquid, Danny picked up a Baron steal and a pentakill in a 2v5.
They don't know that. There might be respect required. 3k helping the Baron, smites up in 2 seconds, and they peel it. They buy the time. Engage comes in. Good damage. No, it's still low at 3k. Frontline damage on Sama. Gonna stay alive. Finds one. Ton of time bought by Santorin. Gonna get the spike. CoreJJ taking shots from the Baron, but no kills just yet. Gonna impact. Santorin's one hit from dead, but Winslow takes it well enough. The rocket. Is it gonna land? What's he gonna get? And it's gonna be a goose egg. A rampage for Hansama. EG come up with nothing. Team Liquid are going to wrap it up. Now Vulcan is the hope for EG. Danny's on his way. There's so many low health members, but Team Liquid,
wants to buy time for Danny.
2v5 is possible. I mean, you're not going to stop the Baron, but you might get a team fight. He's going to shoot. What? You're kidding me. Santorin fights early. Kill number 1. Here comes kill number 2. Danny's in for number 3. For 4. The king of Pentakill. Oh my God. You got to be kidding me.
A long sequence of events leads up to Danny's play, starting with Bwipo catching the flashless Danny in the mid lane. TL attempts to turn this into a Baron, which the remaining EG players try to contest. Jojopyun teleports to the top lane, but he does not have the Twisted Fate ultimate available for a few more seconds. Inspire pops Paranoia, which causes TL to back away from the Baron. Jojopyun hits Hansama with a gold card, forcing Hansama to cleanse as Inspire then dives onto him as well. Jojopyun's Everfrost roots too, but Hansama dodges it with Featherstorm, although it does not break the Fear tether from Inspired. Inspired almost finishes him off, but Hans is able to get the kill with a big Blade Collar. Santorin traps 2 with Cataclysm and survives with Goredrinker and Stopwatch as Vulcan uses Devour to get Jojopyun back to safety. CoreJJ hits all 3 enemies with Hostile Takeover, which fully flips the fight in TL's favor. However, both CoreJJ and Santorin are taken incredibly low by the Baron, which has been hitting them this entire time. Jojopyun now has the TF ult off cooldown, but Bwipo's taunt secures the kill onto impact. For some reason, Jojopyun opts not to go for one of the 3 players he could easily kill, instead teleporting right into Bwipo and Bjergsen. Both take a little damage, but they do kill Jojopyun. Santorin sidesteps a Super Mega Death Rocket that, if it had hit, would have brought Santorin low enough that TL would probably choose not to turn back to the Baron. With Danny running to Baron as fast as he can, every fraction of a second counts, which is why I want to point out 3 things about this Baron take. First, CoreJJ is very low on health and would likely die to Baron's AoE damage, especially with Vulcan there to stop him from backing away, so Core just has to stay outside of the pit, unable to help his team take down the Baron. Second, both of TL's main damage dealers get knocked up by the same tentacle attack, which prevents both of them from damaging the Baron for over a second. Lastly, as Vulcan steps closer to the pit, Hansama briefly turns away from the Baron and tosses an ability at Vulcan, which is more time spent not hitting the Baron. This all sets up for Danny to make it to the Baron pit just in time. He throws the Flame Chompers over the wall and sends a rocket auto attack to the Baron. Santorin gets incredibly unlucky as he is about to land a near-perfect smite on the Baron at 895 HP, but the game clock just hits 29 minutes, and Baron gains an additional 180 HP at the top of every minute, which is enough for Baron to survive Santorin's smite, instead falling to Danny's auto attack. This not only gives EG the Baron, but it also procs Jinx's Get Excited at the start of this fight, giving Danny more attack speed to shoot down TL and more movement speed, making him harder to hit with skill shots. Danny has really good target selection, first focusing down Hansama as Bjergsen dashes forward and uses Stopwatch. Danny then takes down CoreJJ, who casts Bailout on himself, but Danny doesn't waste any more shots on him, instead kiting back and taking down Bjergsen when he exits stasis. Vulcan stands between Danny and Bjergsen and is able to block one of Bjergsen's rockets, while Danny's Get Excited movement speed causes Bwipo's taunts to fall just short. Santorin's Flag and Drag misses as well, and now TL has no way to catch or lock down Danny, so he cleans up the final kills and picks up the pentakill in addition to the Baron steal in this 2v5. In Game 2, Evil Geniuses won big in an early game fight in the bot lane.
But without Inspired able to make a play, Santorin gives them the safety to push up. He walks in, he sees if anyone's there, and gives them confidence.
Finds the knock-up, arrow in there as well, Chain CC, shield comes in, but the dunk's gonna come through! First blood claimed, Inspired in for more! Double up, but Jojo's not in range, still finds the first, wants the second, gets it in for Danny, here comes Jojopyun, and Bjergsen TP's in! It's the Formal Army, he's dead again!
Santorin hovers around his bot lane duo to make sure they are safe as they push forward. Meanwhile, both Jojopyun and Inspired are heading towards bot lane to make sure Danny and Vulcan don't get dove. Inspired is walking straight from his base as he just recalled to pick up Hextech Rocket Belt, making him easily the strongest player in the area. Jojopyun and Inspired start to back away when it looks like nothing is going to happen, but Santorin goes in onto Vulcan, who is spotted on a TL board. Santorin's engage is combined with both the Ashe and Zyra ults, and Santorin picks up the kill with Cataclysm as Bwipo also drops Cannon Barrage, meaning TL have spent 4 of their 5 ults on killing the enemy support. Danny is able to root Hans Sama with an unassisted Flame Chomp boost setup, preventing Hans Sama from backing away from the coming engage. Santorin flashes away, but Inspired follows with Lunar Rush, and he also gets the reset of Lunar Rush, which he uses to dash onto the TL bot lane duo and hit both of them with the Diana ulti. Jojopyun had gone most of the way back to mid lane, so he is not there to follow up with Last Breath, but the damage from Inspired instantly kills Core JJ and takes out half of Hans Sama's health. Bjergsen teleports in with the TF ult, but Inspired is able to flash away from the Everfrost route, getting him to safety. Danny continues to fire freely on the remaining members of TL, and Jojopyun flashes forward to give EG enough damage to finish off the final 2 kills without losing any more lives themselves, and EG gets a huge early game lead, winning this fight 4 kills to 1. In Game 1 of the Grand Finals, a chaotic teamfight broke out over the first Rift Herald.
Okay, 100 Thieves have it started up. The eyeball is ready to be hit, but they're not hitting it just yet. Okay, that one's gonna get proc now. Eyeball will not show again. It's low enough HP, that's not gonna pop up. Super Mega Death Rocket thrown out into the mix, and now the Twisted Fate ulti's gonna be coming in. Jojo taking the Realm Warp, looking to find his way into the other side, but the burst comes out. He's gonna be taken low, but he's not gone yet. Closer flashes away. Someday kills Jojo. 100 Thieves have found the mid laner and haven't lost a man just yet, but FBI finally falls to Impact. The Impact's dead now with a double kill back over to Someday. Inspired jumps in and Closer's under pressure. 100 Thieves getting themselves away.
Got no
Danny
flash.
still looking to make the moves. The Rockets onto Abbedagga. They just want to give the kill over to Danny. Oh, just playing with them.
100 Thieves start the Herald, and they are just about to kill it before EG arrives. Danny goes for the steal with Super Mega Death Rocket, and although Inspired is in range, his smite is on cooldown, so Closer secures the Herald relatively uncontested. Both mid laners use their ults to teleport into the middle of the fight. Abbedagga's TF ult puts him with the rest of his team, but Jojopyun's Rise ult puts him in the middle of the 100 Thieves squad. He roots FBI when he arrives, but quickly has to use Stopwatch to survive. Inspired uses Cataclysm, but FBI flashes away before the damage even lands, and the bigger problem is that the only way Jojopyun can flash that would get him away from the 100 Thieves does not get him out of the Cataclysm. Vulcan attempts to use Devour to get him out, but Jojopyun steps away from the edge of the Cataclysm, so Vulcan cannot reach him and actually wastes Devour on Danny by accident. Meanwhile, Impact hits a good 2-man knockup and is able to burn down FBI, who stays alive thanks to Huhi's bailout. Impact flashes away, which keeps him alive for long enough that FBI does not get fully resurrected with the takedown. Although 100 Thieves now have a player advantage, they get corralled into the Baron pit with Danny at full health looking to take them down. Closer gets away from Inspired with a well-placed pillar, and Huhi flashes over the wall, but Abbedagga is stuck with no way out of the pit, and Evil Geniuses feed the kill over to Danny, making the fight an even 2-for-2. Evil Geniuses completed a 3-0 sweep of 100 Thieves with a quadra-kill for Danny in this teamfight.
We are on the precipice of a new era in the LCS. The new talents, the North American talent built up on Evil Geniuses. There's one thing left for them to do, and it's destroy this Nexus.
Vulcan goes for the dredge line, but he won't get it. Jojo in stasis, and the fight is already over. 100 Thieves are getting rammed into the ground, and EG with a perfect ace.
EG are pushing 2 lanes with the Baron buff, and Huhi takes the opportunity to engage a 5v4. However, he dives onto Jojopyun, who immediately uses Zhonya's Hourglass to halt the initial engage. That, combined with Inspired's Flag and Drag, causes Huhi's Solar Flare to miss completely. Inspired then uses Cataclysm to trap 3 of the Thieves before using Stopwatch as Impact joins the fight from above. Meanwhile, Danny quickly cuts through both Huhi and Someday, and is freed up to dominate the rest of this fight. Inspired retakes turret aggro and begins to walk away from the fight to get out alive, while Danny's Gale Force forward secures the 3rd kill onto FBI. Impact jumps off of Danny and steals the 4th kill with a boomerang, stopping Danny from getting what should have been yet another pentakill. Danny does pick up the quadra kill and just barely survives the final turret shot, giving Evil Geniuses a clean ace as they win Game 3 and the fastest ever LCS Finals. Thank you for watching Hyperanalyzing LCS, and congratulations to Evil Geniuses on becoming the 2022 LCS Spring Split champions.